meet on the 76ers in the final?
There's hot takes and just you can literally take one line of what I say and say very, very likely. Like read the whole comment, man. I hate when that happens. Like I stand up here and talk for 45 seconds about that question, and you want to take 5 words that put the Boston Celtics in the finals. Like, that's the crazy. It's the hype beast. So I'll be more specific next time about how I see the future's bets around who's going to be in the finals, even us, like whatever.
That one really frustrate you particularly?
Yeah, it did, because there's obviously a question about Boston's chances and how well they've been playing. I literally said they have to beat Cleveland because Cleveland's been there 3 times in a row. And obviously, I made a joke. I haven't been in Boston in the summer in a while, and it's probably nice weather, but video is going crazy. So watch the whole video, watch the whole comment, and you get it right.
Thank you.
Even in the half court, I think we executed a lot better than we did in the first half, and that's kind of Warriors basketball. It took us 24 minutes to get there, but we found a way to give ourselves some life and off to the races from there.
You personally,
did you feel it was your time that Thursday to take the game over with?
You always feel like that, to be honest. I mean, you never know how the game's gonna flow coming in, but maybe have an opportunity to knock down some shots and just be aggressive. I was extremely aggressive in the first half, just didn't make as many shots. Just a little bit more calculated in the third quarter. We moved the ball a lot better, so we got some easier shots. And thankfully, some went down to continue to build that momentum. So it was a fun quarter. I honestly didn't know how dominating it was. Flipping the script from a 22-point deficit to a 10-point lead, but it's kind of crazy things happen around us.
When you consider how Boston game ended and how this game started, how impressive was this guy? I know you've been a lot of scenarios and different kinds of battles, but how impressive for a team as tested as this one to do what you guys did in that third?
We got to find a bright spot, yeah, for sure, but being critical about ourselves, we obviously have to start games better and find some way to get some life early in the game, especially on the road. I think we did it. It's kind of flipping the script. We did that in Boston, but didn't finish strong. And tonight we started terrible and finished amazing. So we'll put it all together, and it's nice to escape here with a win after the way the first half went.
There was a first quarter sequence where there was like 2 timeouts in 8 seconds. Curl it back.
That was all my fault. I came out of a timeout and didn't know the play, or I knew the play but forgot it once I got out there. And he's been talking about just our focus and executing in the half court, especially after coming out of a timeout. That's the easiest thing to do. And as a point guard, it's kind of unacceptable to literally 4 dribbles into the possession and not know where I'm throwing the ball. So things didn't.
Did that
What was
feel?
your message to him at halftime?
It was mainly like, we're not used to being run off the floor. We're usually the ones who are playing with pace and energy. And so when you're down 20 and you're not stopping anybody, you can't just turn it into a track meet. That's when you actually have to slow the pace down a little bit in the half court and execute and make them guard a little bit and change the flow. I felt like in the second quarter we were just trading baskets and coming down. It felt like a pickup game. I thought we were more poised in the third quarter, just in terms of execution and obviously defending with a lot of energy and everything turned.
Your team has done a lot of things. When you see them put that kind of effort out in the third, what kind of pride do you show in that kind of team and see them do that?
It's a great group of guys. They're tough and they're competitive, and we've been at this for a few years, and our guys they take everybody's best shot every night, and that's not an easy thing to do. And tonight was one of the few nights that first half where I just felt like we weren't competing, and like I said, it's not easy night in and night out, but their nature as a group is to fight. And fortunately, the NBA game's a long game, and they turned it around.
You took 2 timeouts within like 8 seconds of each other in that first quarter. What happened in that sequence? And that
First timeout was just a basic timeout to get our defense organized. Second time out was because we came out of that first time out and ran the play wrong. We were completely confused, and that's inexcusable. If you call timeout and draw a play, they got to run the play, and so we weren't locked in, we weren't focused, and I wanted to jolt him a little bit and kind of let him have it. That didn't work either. So it took more than that. It took, I think, as I said, just the embarrassment of getting blown off the floor in that first half to get us going.
There was another timeout, I guess, to open shortly after the second quarter. What was the message on that?
I think it was defense again. I think it was transition defense. They scored twice in a row. It's tough to give up a dunk in transition after a made basket, but we accomplished that, so it deserved a timeout.
Steve, you've been around.
I could barely move out there, so I couldn't get the team going. It kind of hurt us.
What was wrong?
Just fluid in my knee. Yeah. I had like the last couple of games, but like when the arena was warm, it kind of warmed up, but it was cold, so it was kind of holding me back. But there's no excuses. We still lost. We still didn't come out with no energy in the first half and have no effort. Well, he does what he do. You know what I mean? He just get offensive rebounds. He catch lobs. He scored in the post a little bit, and he cleans up all that rebounds. So I mean, we knew what he was gonna do, but giving up 19 first half points in fast breaks, that's what killed us. Or just competed defensively. That was the key. You know what I mean, stopping them in transition. I think they didn't have too many fast break points, but in the first half, 19 is too many for any team. I mean, some teams don't even get 19 for a game, and they had that in the first half, so that killed us. And they really didn't score that much. They had 50 points, but we just couldn't make no shots and we didn't play no defense. We're down because of the way we didn't compete. I mean, in the first half, that was the key to the game. We would just competed, even though we wasn't making shots, compete a little bit. We still feel like we could have won the game, but they came out and did what they supposed to do and slapped us in the face in the first half. I have no idea, to be honest. I mean, it just came up out of nowhere. I mean, it was feeling good, then it just popped up. And I trust my training staff and those guys and our doctors to do what's best for me, and they'll tell me if I need to sit in, what I need to do to get it back right. I think I've been preparing myself for doing all the exercises and correct the works they want me to do, so I'm just going to stick with the plan I've been doing.
I loved it. You know, I felt like first our effort was great in the second half. You know, that it put us in a position to win. You know, but we dug ourselves such a deep hole. You know that you're fighting on E. You know, come towards the end of the game. You know, and you know, but at the same time, you know, that just showed us what type of team that we can be. You know, if we compete the right way for a whole 48 minutes, you know, versus just the second half. So, as far as my shot, I feel like it was a good look. Still debating in my head if I should have shot the three or if I should have went to my step back or whatever. But, you know, I'm still confident in that shot, and that's a shot I make every day. So I'm a little pissed off at myself, but, you know, I'll have another opportunity to be able to be in that situation again, and it'll be a different result. Just staying in the game, we got to realize that, you know, there's teams who've came back from 30 and won and 20-plus points and won, you know. So the game is never over. You know, no matter how well you're playing offensively, you can control how hard you're competing. You can control how hard you're playing on defense, you know, and those things win you the ball game, and that's what put us in the position to win tonight is the fact that we got stops. You know, it was great that, you know, we got our offense going, but when you're getting stops, you know, that's putting you, that's giving you momentum, that's giving you confidence that, you know, that you're staying in the game. So we gotta remember that, you know, the game is not over until it's over, you know, and with the caliber guys that we have on this team and, you know, the type of team that we are, you know, we're a tough team. You know, we compete at a high level, and we know that if we do so, we can put ourselves in a position to win. You know, we just dug ourselves such that deep hole early on, and it kind of hurt us. But if we did that from the jump, you know, we would have won this game for sure.
What do you see in front of you, and what goes through your head about what your options are in the different spots?
I forgot who was guarding. I seen Richardson closing out pretty hard, so my first instinct wasn't to just, you know, shoot a three. Somewhat in my head, I'm still thinking if I should have shot it or not, if I had time to shoot it. I had time to shoot it, but if my feet were set to be able to do so. But I seen him closing out, so I just wanted to get by him and try to get downhill, you know, and act like I was going towards the hoop and just shoot a quick pull-up. You know, he gave me a little bump, and I should have shot my step back, and I probably faded a little bit too much. But, you know, that's still I make that shot every day, so I'm a little mad at myself, but, you know, I just got to move on from it.
We did everything to get back into the game, to give ourselves a chance. We just got to play like that in the first half. I mean, we knew what we had to do. We just knew we wasn't playing hard enough. They were playing harder. We knew that coming in. You know, they were going to be fired up since they lost at home. So, that second half, we, amped up our defense. We got a little bit more physical, and things started to happen for us. Yeah, they mix it up, especially with him. He's their facilitator. He make plays for them. Once he get that outside shot going, it's tough to deal with him. He creates for them in so many different ways. Whenever he comes, he always brings, great energy. He's flying around, using his athleticism, defense. And offensively, he just moves around, get tip outs. He just brings energy.
We're tired of putting ourselves in those kinds of situations. We know it's about us competing out there in the first half. We can't dig ourselves a hole and expect to climb out of it, especially on our home floor. Something we got to get better at. We'll look at a lot of film, that's for sure, and move forward from it. Energy. Just come out and have some energy, have some fun. This is basketball. You come out there, you play with your teammates every day in practice. Just go out there and do the same thing out there under the big lights. When we have those kind of games, typically the energy's a little bit low, so I just try and bring a spark off the bench and try to do that very well. And what happens is what happens, but we want to have more wins instead of losses. Trying to stay in tune with the game, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, all the way through. You never know when coach is going to call your number, and for me that's especially true. So I got to just make sure that I'm ready to go in at any point. And I think coach knows that I'm always itching to get in the game. So just got to keep doing that.